All right. Jeff Carroll, Sci-Fi Express Lane, about to express myself science fictionally, right? I guess that's the way you would explain the word if you wanted to go backwards, right? I'm a speculator about myself. Now that sounds worse. So Jeff Carroll, Sci-Fi Express Lane. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about over-independence. Can you be overly independent? As a creator, comic book, film, and novel, right? So let's talk about what any of this is, right? I remember when I first started writing novels, I was told that there's two types of books. There's books that you write for yourself, and then there's books that you write to entertain people. And if you're writing a book for yourself, it can still be commercially successful, no doubt. But if you're writing for other people, then it is important to get the opinions of other people, monitor other people, and all that stuff. So that's just writing. That can be for screenwriting, which I don't know people that make movies for themselves, or it can be comic book writing. And for me, it almost feels like that sometimes when you get so deep into being an independent writer, you're almost saying, or you just having moderate success, it can feel like you're writing for yourself. This summer, actually spring and summer, I wrote my first 100-page graphic novel. And I had written about 6 comic books and more short stories, maybe about 10 short stories prior to writing this 100-page graphic novel. And it came out about 106 pages. And I remember, it was early. It was into, book 2. I was like, damn, I haven't gotten any feedback on this story from the community. I feel lost. I feel like I'm in space, it feels weightless. I'm just out here dangling, It's hard. My training comes from stand-up comedy. Shout out to the Uptown Comedy Club. And when I write, I'm, waiting for a reaction. I'm a grindhouse movie goer. When I was young, I went to the movies. We talked in the movies. We heard people laugh. We heard people scream, shock, gasp, all that stuff. And so when I write, it throws me sometimes to not hear people give a reaction. So it's like telling jokes to a brick wall. You know your regular timing, but your timing is going to probably be off. And you may be able to get off a couple of jokes. But then after that, it's like, oh my God, I remember when people told me about doing virtual comedy shows. It was hard because sometimes they didn't hear back from the audience. They couldn't hear the audience. And these little text message, live chat comments, then nobody chats, ha ha ha, or, that's crazy. And the timing is off when it happens. So a lot of those things affect your ability to tell stories. And as an independent writer, without major success, you sort of feel like that. It feels like you're writing and creating in space. I pushed through it, I had an illustrator that gave me feedback. My letterer gave me feedback. So I kind of pushed through and, I like the product and I'm comfortable putting it out. I mean, when you make movies, you don't really have a chance to get the audience reaction. You're editing it and it's out. Now, if you got money, sure, there's people that can do test audience and they may edit a scene, they may take something out, but for the most of us, our final edit that's all you're going to get. So when I say, can you be overly independent? What do I mean by that? Going back to the main little question I wanted to ask, can you be overly independent? And I think, yeah, You know, when I say that, I mean, can you get so set in your ways that you don't even think about commercial success? And when I say commercial success, it can be as little as, you know, large groups of fans. Like I've seen and I've felt the urge. I've talked to writers who don't even seem like they worry about fans anymore. They don't even worry. They just writing books. I'm like, damn, dude, you know, you got so confused over, you know, what you think you're doing that doesn't work that you've given up on trying to find out what does work. Wow, you know. And then it's the other writer that can be writing so independent that everything that anybody says is, you know, a conspiracy. Oh, they're trying to limit my freedom of speech, or they're not going to tell me what to do. And to be honest, yeah, there are elements that are out there that are pandering. You know, putting a black person in your story was a token, right? But it was also a good suggestion because diversity is important, you know, and it may feel pressure to you, but that's subject to your interpretation. In reality, it's something that the audience wants, and it's something that they will support if you put it out there. I know black people started supporting movies with black characters after the demand was made to put some black people in there. And of course, there was some stories, books that went overboard because they just like, let me just stick a black person in here, you know, and if the story fell flat, yeah, you're gonna get that. But then you got some beautifully woven stories with some really nice diversity in there, and it worked. That's the same thing with the LGBT. That community will support. But, you know, if you don't feel it, then don't put it in there. But in reality, yo, that's a swing. That's a, you know, there's other things like writing zombies or vampires. You know, when these things come in fashion, publishers and production companies jump on these things real quick, you know, because they want to ride the curve. I don't really know of trends like that in comic books because there's always so many comic books out there. But I know it exists in film. They will say, yo, you got a zombie movie, you got a vampire movie, you know, slave movie, if ever those come out, right? But yeah, people are quick to be like, nah, man, I do what I do, and I get that, but I think at the end of the day, you start to fall into I write for myself, and who the heck writes stuff? That's note taking. If you're not, it's like I talk to myself. When I do my writing class, my workshops, I tell people writing is communicating to everybody. It's like talking to everybody throughout time. From this point forward, you're talking to everybody because your words have the potential to last infinity, right? Indefinitely, for years. You know, the people that may read your story, your pacing, your characters, your jokes may not be, you know, the same hour that you wrote them. They're going to be for people may not even be born yet. So that's what communication is. I mean, that's what writing is. You're communicating to the future. So I don't understand why you would write something just for yourself. You know, it's really just note-taking. But at the end of the day, it's also art. So even though somebody might consider themselves writing for themselves, somebody might dig it up and be like, yo, this is a dope book. So I'm not going to hate on writing per se, but I am going to say that to be overly independent, you lose your ability to kind of expect success, really, because you're not doing what's necessary to be successful. You may need to improve your writing. You may not make sense. Your stories may be confusing. And believe me, there's a lot of unsuccessful books, you know, and a lot of these books could get benefit from listening to industry executives, listening to people who have been doing this for a while, listening to people who make money off of the success of books. A lot of independent, not just books, but comics. I heard people don't want to listen to editors at comic book companies. Oh, they don't like the way I draw the character. This is not some bum off the street. Everybody is, let's not get carried away with conspiracy theories. Everybody isn't out to see you be destroyed. You understand what I'm saying? So, again, let's not get too carried away. So I say that because I don't want people to get so independent that when an opportunity to expand their brand comes, they don't take it. And yeah, I get Hollywood was trying to make my character white. Hollywood was trying to make my character a woman. Hollywood was trying to make my character gay. No doubt. That is real too. But not every change is a conspiracy confirming change. Some of these changes are suggestions to improve your product, coming from people who make money off of successful products. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I don't want you to get so independent. And maybe I'm even talking to myself a little bit, because I feel sometimes, I need to tell myself, calm down, Jeff, right? That suggestion is good, but I'm overly suggesting. I'm quick to take somebody's suggestion. I'm quick to follow a trend, just not because I want to join in on the fun. It's just I'm a reactionary writer. I'm a comedic writer in energy. So I look at stories like jokes. So if you tell me your story, I may be like, yo, I got a story to knock that one out the box. And that's how I get down. So I'm not necessarily pandering. I'm competing. And I think probably that's a better way to explain it, because in comedy we've played jokes, we snapping and stuff like that. We go set for set, all that, and that's my energy. So when I write books, I do very much the same thing. I go back and forth with people who write other books. I go back and forth with people that write comic books. I go back and forth with movies. You got that movie, I got this movie. And it's not to say your movie isn't good. You've seen that, you might want to see this. You read that, you might want to read this. You read that comic book, check out this one. It's something like that. It's piggybacking on success. That's how I do my horror movies. I really like Jason, Freddy. Those are some of the main ones. And my horror movies, I try to complement that energy. Of course, I'm trying to do it better, no doubt. But I'm not saying that those, things are trash. It's not saying that you got to be trash for me to be great. No, we both great. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So I say that because I really just don't want people to get lost in being independent, because that can be a problem. All right. So anyway, I'm at my destination. I will hit up with you later. The best thing you can always do for me is like, subscribe, share, and then I love comments. So like, subscribe, share, and comment for me. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out of here. Sci-Fi Express Lane.